Let's boost your English skills.
Hey there, friends. How's it going today? I just stepped away from my mug of coffee because I wanted to talk with you the second the idea popped into my head. Can you smell the fresh roast through the microphone? Probably not, but imagine it anyway. I'm recording from my tiny apartment studio, still wearing fuzzy socks because spring mornings are chilly here in New York. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Boost English podcast. I'm your host, Olivia. Yes, it's just me today. No guest, no co-host, only the hum of my laptop fan and you on the other side of these earbuds. But don't worry, I'm ready to make this time fun, useful, and maybe even a little surprising. As always, the goal is simple. While you listen to this episode, your English will level up without you even noticing. All you need to do is relax, follow the story, and let the language wash over you, right? So what's on the menu? Our topic is a big one, something most of us do even while scrolling through social media before breakfast. It's about comparing ourselves to others and, more importantly, how to stop doing it. We've all been there, staring at someone else's highlight reel and feeling a little smaller. Trust me, I once compared my humble instant ramen dinner to a celebrity chef's 30-course feast online. Spoiler, it did not improve the flavor of my noodles. So today I'll give you 3 clear reasons we fall into the comparison trap and 3 practical moves to break free. Sound good? Okay, let's jump in. Reason number 1, we forget what's real and what's edited. Think about those shiny photos online. Behind every perfect vacation snapshot is a queue at the airport, a lost charger, and a mosquito bite, or 2. Yet, when we see the final picture, we assume the other person's entire life is as smooth as the photo. Our brain runs a quick, unfair calculation. Their perfection minus my mess equals I'm behind. How about you? Have you ever caught yourself thinking that way? Let me share a quick story. Last year, I saw a friend post flawless beach yoga poses. I thought, wow, she's basically an athletic mermaid. 1 month later, we met for lunch, and she laughed, "Oh, that photo? I almost fell into the water 5 times before we got one that looked graceful." She showed me the bloopers. Guess what? They were hilarious. That moment reminded me that a single glossy shot never tells the full story. Here's the antidote. Whenever you notice yourself staring at someone else's glossy moment, pause and remind yourself that's a trailer, not the full movie. Replace jealousy with curiosity. Ask, what part of their story am I not seeing? That single question pulls you back to reality and dulls the sting of comparison. Reason number 2, we tie worth to speed instead of direction. In other words, we focus on who gets there first, not who keeps moving in the right direction. We watch a classmate speak fluent Spanish after 6 months and suddenly forget they already knew French, Portuguese, and a bit of Italian. We zoom in on the finish line and ignore the starting blocks. What about you? Is there an area where you feel late to the party? True confession, I once felt ashamed that my podcast growth was crawling while others rocketed. Then I realized some of those shows had giant marketing budgets, entire audio teams, and famous guests. My tiny solo project couldn't race in the same lane yet, but it could move steadily forward. When I focused on improving audio quality episode by episode, downloads doubled in 3 months. Direction, not speed. The antidote here is tracking your personal trajectory. Write down small wins each week. 1 new vocabulary word, 1 short workout, 1 page of writing. Over time, you'll see a private graph that moves upward. The pace may be gentle, but the trend tells the truth. When you celebrate direction over speed, comparison loses its power. Reason number 3, we confuse inspiration with competition. Looking at high achievers can motivate us, but only if we treat their success as proof that the goal is possible, not as evidence that we're inferior. Unfortunately, our ego loves to turn inspiration into a race we never agreed to run, right? Let me illustrate. I adore Serena Williams. When I watch her destroy a tennis ball, I feel inspired to move my body. But if I grab a racket tomorrow and expect to match her serve speed, I'll end up discouraged or in the hospital with a sore shoulder. Inspiration should be fuel, not a measuring tape. To push back, practice selective copying. Find one behavior you genuinely admire. Maybe that entrepreneur wakes up early or that athlete reads before bed, and test it in your own life. If it sticks, great. If not, move on. By borrowing specific habits instead of comparing entire identities, you convert envy into growth. Quick recap so far. 1. Remember social media is a trailer. 2. Measure by direction, not speed. 3. Borrow habits, don't race strangers. Stick around because after the break, I'll share 3 tiny exercises you can start today to protect your mind from comparison overload. Exercise A, the gratitude snapshot. Tonight, list 3 moments that made you smile. They can be trivial. The smell of toast, a funny meme, your dog's sneeze. Keep the list somewhere visible. Tomorrow, add 3 more. Over a week, you'll build a personal highlight reel richer than any influencer's feed. Exercise B, the 1 meter rule. For an entire day, compare yourself only to the you of yesterday, no farther. Ask, am I 1 meter better in any area than I was 24 hours ago? If yes, celebrate. If no, adjust gently. Limiting the radius of comparison keeps your field of vision clean. Exercise C, compliment out loud. When you see something praiseworthy, your coworker's presentation, your sister's cupcakes, say it. Voicing appreciation turns potential jealousy into connection. Plus, you'll notice that lifting others never pushes you down. All right, vocabulary corner time. I'll choose 15 words and phrases from today's talk that might feel tricky and explain them using examples from the episode. Ready? Here we go. Word 1, highlight reel. A collection of the best moments, like a sports video showing only the winning plays. In social media, people post a highlight reel of their lives, not the dull parts. Word 2, antidote. An antidote is a remedy or cure that removes something harmful. I said the antidote to comparison is tracking your own progress. Word 3, trajectory. Trajectory means the path something follows over time. When I told you to track your personal trajectory, I meant watch the direction your life is moving in. Word 4, inferior. If you feel inferior, you believe you're lower in quality or value than someone else. Comparison often makes people feel inferior. Word 5, ego. Your ego is your sense of self-esteem or self-importance. Our ego turns other people's success into a competition. Word 6, envy. Envy is the emotion of wanting what someone else has. Borrowing habits converts envy into growth. Word 7, influencer. An influencer is someone who affects other people's opinions online. I contrasted your gratitude list with an influencer's feed. Word 8, radius. Radius is the distance from the center of a circle to its edge. Limiting the radius of comparison means narrowing the area you compare. Word 9, identity. Identity is who you are, including qualities and beliefs. I said don't compare entire identities. Word 10, glossy. Glossy means shiny, smooth, and attractive on the surface. Glossy photos can hide real-life problems. Word 11, confession. A confession is when you admit something private or embarrassing. I made a confession about feeling ashamed of my podcast growth. Word 12, mermaid. A mermaid is a mythical sea creature with the upper body of a human and the tail of a fish. I joked that my friend looked like an athletic mermaid in her beach photo. Word 13, measuring tape. A measuring tape is a flexible ruler used to measure length. I said inspiration should be fuel, not a measuring tape. Word 14, overload. Overload means too much of something, more than you can handle. Comparison overload happens when you look at other people's lives so much that you feel overwhelmed. Word 15, blooper. A blooper is a funny mistake. Often in filmmaking, my friends' failed yoga poses were hilarious bloopers. I hope those explanations clear things up. If any word is still fuzzy, rewind and listen again, or look it up in a dictionary that you trust. And remember, building vocabulary is like planting seeds. Water them with real-life usage and they'll grow. Okay, friends, We're almost at the finish line. Let me ask you, which of the 3 exercises will you try first? Comment below and tell me how it goes. Maybe I'll shout out a few answers in the next episode, so don't be shy. Thanks for spending this time with me on Boost English. Don't forget to subscribe, share the episode with a friend who needs to hear it, and leave a review if you enjoyed our chat. Until next week, keep learning, keep growing, and above all, be kind to yourself. Bye for now.